Welcome to Behind the Career, the show designed to help get rid of all of that confusing information online and instead see and hear from real people as they talk about their career and training experiences. We'll be taking you behind the scenes of industries that are usually hidden from the public. I'm Sophia O'Connell.
And I'm Kyne Cooper. Today we're focusing on engineering and fabrication, and what better way to show you all the options in this rewarding career than to take you on a tour of Burn trailers.
Be sure to check out behindthecareer.com for even more resources and links to helpful information.
There'll be resources like Life Launcher, My Future and Job Outlook. Time to settle in and discover more about a pathway into engineering and fabrication.
We build roughly a B-double a week out of our livestock department here, and then on top of that we also build walking floors and aluminium tippers, so that's another 30 odd trailers a year, 25 to 30 odd trailers a year. So we'll do around about 100 units a year here, so it keeps you pretty busy. That's around about a trailer every 2.5 days we put out. So day-to-day roles here at Burn Trailers my day involves just pre-starts with all the leading hands and supervisors, just making sure everyone's clear on instruction on where we're going to get to by the end of the day. Keeping production going, so there's always issues with supply, people, and just exactly setting our priorities for the day on where we've got to be to meet our targets at the end of the week. As a school student, I was probably mainly at school just for the fun and the sports and playing footy and that sort of thing. Wasn't a real studier. I did do year 12, but I didn't do a trade or go to uni, had no intention of doing that after school. Teachers probably said could concentrate more, easily distracted. That was pretty common sort of comments, I think. I didn't really have any great idea of what I wanted to do after school. I just sort of finished up school and I actually got a job at Finnemore's, and we've started in the stores and in the workshop down there, worked my way through. Ended up running workshops for CJ Dean's up in Adelong, workshops for Finnemore's in Brisbane, and then came back to Wagga to run another workshop here for Doug Sutherland truck repairs. And then went mining for a little while, for 5 or 6 years, and then truck driving for a bit, and then ended up down here at Burns running the factory. My role involves a lot of problem solving and sort of people skills, just trying to get people on side and get everybody working towards the same goal at the end of the week. I'm not one to jump and yell and scream. I like to try and get everyone on side and working the job together. Just all our leading hands on side. That'll bring everybody else around to get the task done at the end of the day. Technology here is it's always going ahead. Everything that's in manufacturing now is always getting smarter and smarter. We've got CNC lathes, whereas we used to just have an old manual lathe. We've got a CNC press, compared to what was just an old standard brake press, big dangerous old machine. We've now got a laser cutter, high definition laser cutter, which sort of makes our job a whole lot better. But everything we do here as well, all the trailers, suspensions, there's all electronic braking systems now, so there's laptops, blokes that used to just put wheels on and mud flaps, now they're operating laptops and programming braking components of trailers, and it's pretty high tech now. No, you don't need an apprenticeship to work on the factory floor here. We have labourers, and we'll call some of them skilled labourers and also unskilled labourers. We have auto electricians, painters, sandblasters. We have blokes working in finishing that are just responsible for finishing off the trailer, like the pre-deliveries of the trailers, putting all the boards and stickers and mud flaps and wheels and tyres and all the bolt-on parts onto it and getting it finished for the customer out the front. You don't need an apprenticeship for that, you just need a knack and an eye for detail. We have an apprentice spray painter down here as well. The apprentices here are studying metal engineering, and they'll go to the TAFE up there. We've also talked to the TAFE about doing some short courses in CNC operation, CNC programming and bits and pieces like that, so they're going to get back to us, because that could be a whole other job without going through an apprenticeship. At the moment we've got 63 people out the back here. That includes purchasing, stores, planning, CNC operation and programming, and then sandblast, painters, finishers, repairs, welders and fabricators.
So, how do I enter this industry and what does training look like?
I'm glad you asked, Sophia. Let's hear from an apprentice about what it's like to enter the industry and how you learn your trade.
So my apprenticeship that I did was Engineering Fabrication Certificate 3. It's usually 4 years, but I knocked mine over early and finished it in 3.5. They take on maybe like 10 apprentices at the end of every year. And then me and 10 other blokes did TAFE for a bit, and then they chose 4 to come and work here. So there was 2 weeks of TAFE and 2 weeks of burns. At school, I was all right until about maybe year 9 or 10, and then decided that school wasn't for me. And I finished at the end of year 11 and went into a Sparky apprenticeship, and then did that for 2 years, and then that wasn't for me either, so then I came straight here. The thing I like most about here is definitely the people that you work with. Yeah, I've got heaps of friends here now that I can hang out with all the time. When I'm not working, I'm either going away or going fishing or playing footy. Yeah, so it's your welding the wheels and stuff onto the crate. Yeah, so it's pretty important. Someone best suited to this type of work would be someone who's hands-on, definitely hands-on, and willing to give it a crack, because you don't really know what you're going into until you just get in there and have a go. So yeah.
This sounds like a really interesting career pathway, but as a female, would I fit in?
Absolutely, Sophia, but don't let me tell you about it. Let's hear from a female tradie currently working in the industry.
I went to school at Mount Austin High, and I came out, did work experience in metal and engineering, and I loved it. So I decided, yep, that's the job I'm going to do. I did metal work in year 11 and 12 in my HSC. It took a while to get apprenticeship, but Burn Trailers gave me a start, and worked 4 days a week and went to TAFE 1 day a week. And I've been there ever since, and it's been awesome. Some of my best mates have come from TAFE in my year and also here at work. And yeah, it's been over 10 years, some of the mates, so it's been pretty good. If any girls want to do this, I'd say give it a go. Have some tough skin and go to the gym first. Just build some upper strength and you'll be sweet as a nut.
So when you first start here, the apprentices, you might think you're not on a great deal of money being an apprentice, but certainly as you work through in this trade, there's good opportunity to earn really good money. You'll get a couple of years out of your trade, you'll earn some really good coin. And you'll get a job anywhere in Australia travelling around. We get people calling in here, coming through for 3 months, we'll put them on for 3 months. We've had fellas leave and go, head north, they just walk into a job. Wherever they knock on a door, they end up with a job.
Wow, it looks like there's opportunities for everyone here, not just blokes.
It's so inspirational to see women making inroads in the trades that have traditionally been seen as male-dominated.
Now is a good time to check in and let you know that if you want more information about one of these career paths and it is not mentioned in enough detail during this show, you can search our resources online at behindthecareer.com.
I'm a first year apprentice in engineering and fabrication for a certificate 3. When I was at school, I was a kid who didn't really pay enough attention. I should have paid attention a bit more, like in maths and like metal tech and stuff like that. I finished year 11 and then I was like, I'm gonna leave school and get a job. I heard about a pre-apprenticeship course, so I came to that a day late actually, and then I worked for 3 weeks here, and then they gave me a job and I've been working here since then. At school I did metal work and I did do woodwork, but I didn't really like woodwork as much as metal, so I dropped that. So the reason I only work 4 days a week is because I do all my hours I'm required to do in 4 days, so then that gives me the option to do more hours on the Friday if I want, or I can just have the Friday off. Well, I actually really do enjoy welding. Some of the other stuff like marking out and all that, I don't enjoy as much. But like previously this year, I've been making cattle ramps for the trailers, which is like days and days of welding. So you literally just come into work, put your helmet on and weld for 10 hours, and it's really, really good.
So Sophia, where can completing a trade in this industry take you?
Great question, Kyan. Completing your trade isn't where your career and learning stops. A trade can open many doors and provide many opportunities for career advancement.
Really? So you won't just weld for the rest of your life?
No way, Kyan. A career in this industry is so varied and has so many different pathways and outcomes. Let's hear from the engineering manager about his journey through the industry, from his early days finding work to the present day at Burn Trailers.
So I went to school, Tamarama High School. Probably wasn't the most astute student at that school. Finished school in '88. Before I finished school, I contacted the TAFE, applied for the pre-apprenticeship course that they ran. It was a 12-month course and at the time it was boiler making, first-class welder / fitter machinist. So we spent 2.5 days up the top at the welding department, and then 2.5 days down the bottom at the fitting machining department. And that was good. Met a lot of new people there doing that, '89. Finished off my apprenticeship, finished off my full trade here at Burn Trailers, then done a number of different things. Come knocking back on the Burn Trailer door, they give me another go. Then it sort of came to that point in time where, I don't know, you meet a girl, think about family, and stayed in Morga. Got 3 kids now. Probably, and there's another fella here, David Byrne, my boss. We often talk about our tours here at Burn Trailers. He's got a couple, I've got 4 or 5. And this one now has been my probably best, and it's probably where I wanted to be back probably mid-90s when I thought about changing direction on my career from being a welder, working with metal and getting dirty all the time, to stepping up and getting sort of into the style of engineering and design of the trailers and different machinery we build here. Get here in the morning and there'll be a few things left over from yesterday, so go and speak to a couple of boys straight away. Righto, yesterday when you left, I had a quick look around after everybody left. We need to finish off that there, making sure that parts are planned, getting those drawings to the planning department, making sure those drawings are correct. Talking to a couple of other engineers that we've got here, getting them on track with what they're doing, making sure that they'll meet timelines to get us the drawings to meet the timelines out the back for the trailers. Look, I suppose when I was an apprentice, starting in '89, '90 back at Burn Trailers, or here at Burn Trailers now, I just tried to make everything I do perfect. Whether that be, some people have said it's a bad way, but I think if you're going to do something, maybe do it right to the best of your ability. When we're working in SolidWorks, we make up what we call a model, and it might be of a gate or a ramp or a full trailer or the suspension unit, and we basically build it on the computer before the boys build out the back. And then what we have to do is transfer that to drawings. So when I first started, Nick Byrne, the owner, CEO of Burn Trailers, he used 2D drawings. So everything he drew was on a page, and when he drew it, it became the drawing. And that's what I originally started off working from, 2D drawings. And obviously as technology and advancements in everything, 3D is now in a lot of workplaces like ours and many others, where you build a model and then you create the drawings from the model. So I can bring up a model on my computer and have the boys stand there and I can say, see that there, see how that attaches to that, and it's a 3D version. They go, yeah, exactly, because they can see, they can picture it instead of trying to make it out off a drawing, which is just like a 2D. The purchase of the laser cutter we now have, it will cut so many parts that back in 1988, 90, when I started, was all done by hand. In the metal trades industry, there's not only the hands-on people that make this place run, there are people in purchasing, HR, our accountants, we have salesmen, we have spare parts, administration, marketing, repairs.
If you don't like school and you like doing a trade, you're better off doing that, because then every week you get paid and then you don't have to go to school anymore. And you still get to see your friends and that, like on the weekends. If you're staying in school so you can get your ATAR, but you want to do a trade, you're better off like either picking one or the other, like be really to one side or the other. just and about it.
I look back and think, and I see a lot of young apprentices out there now doing what I did when I was 16, 17, and there's no end to what you can do. As long as you can think you can do it and give it the best shot you can. Like these apprentices out here now, all of them have the ability and have the resources to be whatever they want.
My advice to kids wanting to get into a trade or do a trade is do a trade. I think if you've got a trade behind you, you've got work for the rest of your life. If you're not going to go to uni, nothing wrong with finishing at year 10. You become qualified and ready to go at 19, 20 years old. You'll be driving around in the nice ute and a big motorbike on the back while the other kids are still working at McDonald's paying their way through uni. And you can certainly earn some good money once you've finished your trade.
That's all we have time for on this episode of Behind the Career. If you'd like to find out more about a career in engineering and fabrication, go to behindthecareer.com.
If you'd like more resources or have questions about a different career path, talk to your careers advisor or a teacher about the many options available. Next time we look at the career options in local government.
Parks and gardens, tourism, finance, engineering, water supply, there are so many options in this industry. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.